Hello Year 5, welcome to our introductory lesson for our wider curriculum history topic for this week. As you know, we've been looking at the Apollo 11 mission and Neil Armstrong's first steps onto the moon, and all the people and all the events surrounding that historic event. Well, since then, space travel has moved on, but one of the biggest hurdles that we've overcome beyond landing on the moon was being able to use a rocket, use a spaceship for a second, third, fourth time, for it to be reusable. And back in 1981, the first space shuttle was launched. Here's an image of it. This is the space shuttle itself, the sort of plane-like object, and then it's mounted to some rocket thrusters that help it get into space. But the shuttle itself, this part, is completely reusable. So there's one of the words we'll be mentioning this week. To be able to reuse it, we're able to launch it again and again and again. Now, the space shuttle is what we call an orbiter. That means that it goes into space, but it stays within Earth's orbit. So it doesn't go very far into space. We never use the space shuttle to get to the moon or anything like that. We just use it to get out of the atmosphere and into orbit, where it traveled around doing various jobs. One thing that made it really useful was its payload. Now, the back of the space shuttle, this area here, will open up, okay? And within it is the payload, a storage area, so we can carry things into space. And here you can see, this is the space shuttle itself in orbit around the Earth with its payload doors open. And you can see it's a large area in which we can store things and bring them into space. Things like satellites and also parts for the International Space Station. And the space shuttle was a huge, huge help in building the International Space Station. There it is. And what happened was the shuttle would come up again and again and again, delivering parts to allow the space station to be built. Each time, either a robotic arm or an astronaut doing a spacewalk would help to remove things from the payload and connect it, join it to the space station. And then once the space shuttle had completed its mission, very similar to a plane, it would come back into Earth's orbit and glide down and land on a runway just like an everyday plane. The difference being that once it had landed and been checked over and serviced and so on, it could be then attached to another rocket and launched back into space to complete another mission. Okay, so this week we will look at the space shuttle, the story of some of its missions, and how it was the first reusable spacecraft that we've designed, built, and used. Okay, I hope that all makes sense, but we'll recap on all of that information over the course of the week. Okay, look forward to seeing you in class. Take care.